Hello everyone and welcome to another video training session, and what we're going to be covering on this one is presentation. Now at this point we've gotten the appointment, we're at their facility, the place of business, and we're ready to do a presentation for them, and we only got 15 minutes tops from just to do our presentation, so we got to be in there and we got to be out. So it's always good to have your tablet or your laptop ready in hand with your presentation already in there. So if you're doing a PowerPoint, have your PowerPoint already set up inside of there, and just put your tablet or your laptop on sleep mode. If you're online and you're showing a website, then go ahead and have your website already pulled up with all the tabs to the windows that need to be open. The reason why you want to do this is because in case you get into a place to where they're not trying to let you use their internet because that's on a secure router, or if they don't have internet in their facility, then you want to be prepared so you can thumb through your presentation without any distractions and without any holdups. So just like with me, whenever I go into my presentation, first off, I go in and I shake their hand. I introduce myself, and just kind of small talk a little bit, and ask them a little bit about themselves, how long they been in business. If I don't already know that, and if I do already know that, let them know. Oh, so you've been in business for quite a while. How did you actually get into this business, and get them started on that, so you kind of just flow into your presentation without saying, okay, well, now we're going to go ahead and get started. You're going to kind of do that anyways, but you don't want to do it just so suddenly. You want to chit chat a little bit, kind of get them with the ice broken, so you've made a friend. So as you go into it, and hopefully by this time you're calling them by, they're having you call them by their first name. But you definitely want to address them as Mr. or Mrs. or Miss when you're going in there until they address you. Otherwise, or it feels the comfort zone to where you can address them like that. That's a fine line that you don't want to cross unless you're absolutely sure. It's just because it gives them that respect, and you definitely have that for the upper hand for later while you're doing business with them. You want their utmost attention and respect. But just like with me, after I've done broken into the ice and I'm sitting there and I'm having a conversation with them, especially when I ask them about how long they've been in business, and they've kind of responded and talked about everything. I was like, well, man, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've been in business with this company for about. And then just go into your spiel. So then you're going ahead and you're telling them a little something about yourself, how you got into business, why you got into this business, what you like about it, and everything. And then you go right into your presentation, and then it's like, and that brings me here today. What I do have for you here is you go ahead and you present them with their gift, and give it to them. Like, well, that's right there for you, just for taking a little bit of your time out. For taking a little bit of time out, for letting us show you what we can actually do for you today, and then you go right into your presentation. And it's just like me. If I was doing my presentation, I would just go right into the top of my website, and I would just work my way down, and I would just cover highlights of my website, going through the tabs with all the services that we do, and ask them questions throughout the whole time. The thing is you don't want to go and run and babble through your whole presentation without them getting involved, because you're going to bore them and they're going to want you to leave. So you want to keep that interaction going, just like when you first started, when you walked in. You want to be sure to keep eye contact with them. Be sure to move movements and gestures, not in your hands, moving your hand movements, because these are actually things that's going to get them doing what you want them to do while you're in presentation. Just like, for instance, when you go into graphics, or for instance, with me, if I'm going into graphics and I'm talking about graphics, and ask them questions like, oh, so do you actually use an advertiser right now? Do you have a graphics artist in-house, or any company that you use at all? Yeah, no, let them go ahead and, and respond. And like, if they do have some, ask them how the service is, how what they think about them, what they like about them the most. Don't ask what they like about them the least. Ask what they like about them the most. And once we go to the least question, like, was there anything about the service that you think that you would probably change if you had the opportunity to? And then let them go ahead and tell you what the bad faults is about stuff. But don't go and bash on companies or go ahead and com- uh, and ask anybody in a negative sorts of way. Let them go ahead and knock that down themselves. But you do have the set of questions to get them to that point. But after you got this interaction going and you're moving on down your way, you're asking them questions. Definitely while they're going, ask them, well, from what the service and everything that you've seen, from what we can offer on this service right here, off of this loan, do you think this is something that your company would benefit from? Ask them, ask them in a way that just keeps it flowing. Just so while you're asking them, you have your head kind of moving, your hands kind of moving, and you got them in the same motion. So they're like, yeah, I can see this, and then move on to the next part of your presentation. Like, well, great, because um, go right into just like if I was doing the graphics and everything. Well, it's great that you can actually see the value in the service because we actually do have a special that's going on, but I'll get into that later. What I really want to do is just move on to the next service that we have to offer because I don't want to waste too much of your time here. And then just go on to register your spiel. Be sure that you're actually able to go in and go through your whole presentation before you lock them in if you offer multiple services. Now, if you offer one service and you already locked them in, such as you asking them if they can actually benefit from this, can they actually see themselves using a service like this? Could they see how this would pay for itself? Um, Once when you've got them in motion and they're actually saying, yes, I could actually benefit from this. Yeah, I could actually see how this would pay for itself. It's like, definitely, well, then if we could get you to this, if we could get you the service where it was 100% affordable without a shadow of a doubt, could you see yourself signing up with us today? And then you just let them answer that for themselves, and that's how you close down on them. And you want to always be closing, but you don't want to put high pressure sales on anybody. You just want to do a great presentation to where you're asking them the questions, you're getting the answers from them, that you're covering all the basics, that you're actually getting them involved, you're getting them excited, and they're actually wanting your service, because there's nothing worse than giving somebody something that they don't want or need. I'm not in the business of pushing crap on people. That is the most important thing. Be sure whatever you are offering is something that people can benefit from. Those are the people that last, not these ones that go and throw out just crappy, half done material that no one's ever going to really benefit from. Be sure to put out something that when people uh, receive whatever it may be from you, that they're completely 100% satisfied. And when you're doing that, you're going to love your job more, you're going to get more involved into your presentations, and you're going to be comfortably closing people. um, and that is key for presentation. It is your confidence, your comfortability of marketing whatever that you have, because you have to believe in whatever you have. If you push whatever you don't believe in and you're still fine with that, then you might have a little bit of a shiesty characteristic in you, and you might not be lasting long. You definitely want to believe in whatever that you're pushing. Um, but in a nutshell, that is everything for the presentation and for closing. I'll be updating in the membership site and on the new series on more on closing. But I just wanted to get you a taste of everything, so you can practice on this and everything else too. Don't just wait for the next series to come around. Check on Google and type in uh, um, motivational speeches helping out getting a sales presentation together. Whatever that comes to mind, ask search engines, ask YouTube. They'll pull up material that you can benefit from. So don't just wait on anybody just to bring around another training series. Go out there and definitely search, and you might be surprised at what answers that you'll find. But that's what we're going to cover in this series. So I hope that you got a lot out of it. Main thing is just be sure, like I said, that you're confident in whatever that you're promoting and whatever that you're selling, and be sure that you're completely thorough with your presentation. You're asking questions, you're getting them involved, and that you're always closing. Just go through your whole presentation, just like I said, for instance, I'd have to run through graphics, run through there, ask them a couple times, if they could see themselves there. If we could get them a great deal, would they consider uh, having a service like this within their company today, and then move on to another one, and just continue to close that down until they're ready to do business. So we have all that covered there. And the next video, I'll go ahead and talk to you quickly about contracts and other things, and I'll see you then. Okay, now we're going to get into editing the graphics. These are PSD and PDFs. I'm using Photoshop, but if you have another editor, you can use these in there as well. But I'm comfortable with Photoshop because it just moves a lot more easier. But you can pretty much do the same as what I'm going to be showing you here in anything else. It's just that the fonts are probably going to be different. Your effects would probably be a little bit different. But I pretty much have this laid out real simple. So really all you have to do is change your fonts, whatever you want to look like, whatever you want to say. If you want to play around with the colors, you can go ahead around and play around with the colors. So if you wanted to change things up a little bit, blue wasn't your thing, and you was kind of wanting to spice things up a bit. Just go right here. You can change it to whatever color that you want to switch it over to. And just for your images, you have your there we go. If you kind of everywhere right now, but if you need to locate your images, simply right there. And if you want to just put one plain image right there, you can do that also. So play around with everything. That's what it's there for. But if you want to put in a separate image, just go ahead and get your image wherever it may be. Let's go ahead and just grab something out of here. So we'll bring it down. And keep it up in the rows. And to where it's still behind there, so we have it off in the rows over here. Go ahead and place your image. And you really don't want to stretch an image out either. And for all of right here, you can go eliminate all of these if you want to. And then just go from there and just start adding your pictures one by one, or if you want to go ahead and take out all of these and just add in one single picture, that's all you have to do is just take it out just like that, and start from there and just add in your message right here at the bottom. Just kind of put in your headline right here, your sub headline right here, a little bit of information about it. I guess this would be your second headline and this would be your sub headline, and then more information about what you would have going on, your hours right there, your location, and then of course your website right here with your phone number if you wanted to put that there too. And then you can change this out, or if it's free for you to go ahead and use, but if you want to, go ahead and use an image that you have of your own and play around with everything. And that is pretty much it on how to edit your flyers, your brochures, and every other PSD that came with this package. So I hope that you get a lot out of this, and I hope that you get a a lot of return from using this package, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.